another way, and I'm brighter than day, so I march on. Hello, hello. It is Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be. For the voice, I am losing my voice a little bit, but the show must move on, right? Right, that's how we do things. Okay, so for those of you that have not been on the show before, you haven't watched us, I'm going to let you know we first start with our sponsors. For those of you that have been here, you already know what's up, so let's get started. Yes, Streamers Worldwide, formerly known as BOSS. This organization is the truth. If you need exposure, if you need networking, if you need somebody to help you to get those goals set, to get to that next level, this is the organization you want to be a part of. They are actually a part of why I have this show in the first place. I always contribute this growth to the sisterhood that I have through this network. Just trying to tell you. Now, moving on to Motives Cosmetics. This is my newest venture. You want that good makeup, and yes, I am wearing it today. This is the route you need to go. Yes, indeed. If you want to go through my website, you will get a discount, asiajamal.com or asiajamal.net. I own them both. You're welcome. Also, for those of you that have seen me sport my blueberries, my shades, you can also go to the website under Abella Eyewear and you will get 30% off. You're welcome. And now we're going to move forward. Now, first of all, I want to let you guys know that the talent that we've been working with on this play that I have been promoting from day one has been extraordinary. And the person that I'm bringing on today is totally gifted. Some of the things that I read about him, I didn't even know. So we're going to learn some things together. First, we're going to show this promo. You have an opportunity. For those of you that have not seen the play yet, you have an opportunity to see it on April 9th or April 10th. Get yours. Here we go.
Chicago, get ready. ready for a life-changing experience. The hit stage play, 1800 versus 2020. An original stage play written by Richard Gallion is rocking the nation. 1800 versus 2020.
Sound like a bunch of lazy cowards living in 2020.
April 9th at 7 p.m. and April 10th at 4 p.m. at the APC Theater, 11401 South Vincennes Avenue in Chicago. 1800 versus 2020. Witness a black man from 2020 as he travels back to the days of slavery with his ancestors in the 1800s. An amazing storyline that truly has that wow factor. Audiences are raving.
Quality work.
This is Broadway quality work.
Yeah. What would it do for our young people? It'll bring them together.
1800 versus 2020. For more information, visit www.1800versus2020.com or call 310-461-8973. Don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Seriously, like, here's the flyer. Put all the information you need, write it down, get it together. Have you got it? Okay, I hope so, because we got to move on with the show. Okay. Now, without further ado, we are going to introduce the magnificently talented Royce Hargrove.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
I appreciate for having me on. I appreciate it.
So humble, but so gifted. My goodness. Man, every time you did your lines, I cracked up. And I've seen it. You guys don't understand. I've had so many rehearsals with them, and then I've seen the shows, and still every single time I get the same reaction. You deliver.
I was trying to have a little fun with it, man. Got to have fun with the character.
Absolutely. Listen, you guys, seriously, I'm not giving it any justice right now, and I can't give it away because you gotta go see the play.
Check it out.
Get them tickets, and you guys know, you know, for those of you that have watched We Play This Game by the Fake, later on you get an opportunity to win a prize. If you want a free ticket, you gotta actually pay attention and guess the right answer. Okay? All right. Now let's get into the story of Royce. Where are you from?
Well, born and raised in Chicago, South Side mostly. Lived on the East Side a little bit, but mainly on the South Side.
Okay.
Back in 1989, is it? Yep.
You were born in 1989.
1989.
He is younger than me. Not by much, though.
Right around there.
So you grew up on the South Side of Chicago. What were your aspirations growing up? Like, you originally want to do?
Well, it wasn't acting at first. I could tell you that. It wasn't even in my thought process. The earliest memories I have, one point I wanted to be a pro wrestler. At one point, wanted to be a star athlete. Then aspirations wanted to be a top scientist and discover the cure for everything, any disease you could think of. I was going to discover the cure for that. And then I just knew I wanted to be. I just wanted to be great at anything I did. So whatever it was, I just knew I wanted to be the best at it. And that was always my approach. But I always had different interests, different things that I liked and I was into. And that's how it was kind of my early years.
Okay. So let's go back to this whole cure thing. You want to find everything. Was there a reason for that? Was there a driving factor?
I don't know. I just, I used to watch, I was always interested in science and technology and things like that. And, you would hear about these certain things growing up, and it was never a solution. It was always something happened, and it was like nobody found nothing yet. And I was like, well, okay, I'll do it then. I'll be the first. I'll figure this thing out.
You said if
We'll
you
get it done.
do it, then I'll figure it out.
Hey,
Okay.
somebody.
So with the neighborhoods that you grew up in, was it rough? Or did you have, a decent upbringing? What kind of upbringing did you have?
Luck for me, lucky for me, I had a great upbringing. I really didn't have a rough childhood really at all. I was fortunate to have both my parents, and they did a great job in raising me and instilling great values in me. And they allowed me to be a kid. They allowed me to try all my interests and try everything I wanted to do. If I was interested in something, they allowed me to explore it. And that was great for me. It gave me the confidence that I felt like I could always do anything I set my mind to, and was no limits to anything that I was capable of doing. So yeah, I credit them a lot for being just great influences on my life.
That's a beautiful thing, because that is definitely not the testimony of so many people, especially in the city of Chicago. Statistically speaking, a lot of people did not have both parents in the household. So that's definitely a blessing. Oh, and I always have to remind my audience, please feel free to comment and leave questions. I am paying attention. We will respond to you. I promise. I promise, as long as you're not acting a fool. Um, so what I'm wondering, Royce, do you consider yourself to be a serious actor, or an actor? What category do you place yourself in?
I like to always thought of myself as somebody who was well versed, somebody who could do it all. I never wanted to be put in the box or limit myself, so I wanted to challenge myself to do everything. So if it was a dramatic role, I could do that. If I need to make somebody laugh, I can do that. If I need to make somebody think or feel, or I gotta do some action or whatever it was, play a biopic, I wanted to always be well versed in everything. So I didn't want to be lacking in any one facet of acting. Because I was in I love it all. I love everything about acting, and I enjoy all the challenges of it. Every role is a new challenge, every opportunity is a new challenge to really test yourself as an actor. So that's kind of how I classify myself, just well versed.
Yeah, absolutely. I see you got some love in the comments. All right.
I appreciate it, y'all. Appreciate it.
So, when you were younger, what was your path? How did you start getting into acting, or were you into something else before that?
So for me, my path for acting actually started doing when I was originally doing poetry contests. And I was an orator and doing poetry contests. And even that
Okay.
kind of got started by chance. It was really my grandmother. She's no longer living currently, but she's the one that got me started on all of this. She was the first person to recognize I had a aptitude for obtaining knowledge and memorizing and acting and performing, and she got me started doing poetry. And so she was my first coach. So we would go over poems and we rehearse in the house. And I did my first poetry contest in 5th grade, and I did okay, but I was intrigued by the challenge of it. I knew I could do better. I always felt like I could do better. So I came back in the 6th grade with a brand new poem, really worked at it, and I ended up winning my school's competition, and that afforded me a scholarship to go to ETA theater on the South Side. And so ended up winning also the regional and the citywide competition as well. So first for me was doing poetry. I didn't even have any inclination about acting, but luckily, like I said, I ended up getting that scholarship to ETA. And so once there, I was my first introduction into the world of acting, and I was very intrigued by it because it has similarities to poetry, and and doing those things, but it was very different in a lot of ways. And I just like the challenge of, could I adapt to doing it like this now? Could I adapt to acting? And the more I did it, the more I tried, I felt I had a place in it. And so it was really from there. It started from poetry and with my grandmother, and that's what got me first introduced to acting.
So would you consider yourself to be a writer?
Yes, yeah. I've written poetry before, written a script before, and and songs, things like that. So I do consider myself a writer as well.
Okay. So with the whole writing, let's, go along with that. Are you more passionate about writing poetry, or are you more passionate about writing scripts?
Well, for me, script writing is new, so I have to really do a little more of that to really dive in. So with poetry comes more easier, I would say. I enjoy both equally, but I know poetry comes more easier because I've done it a little longer. So that comes a little more easy for me. But I'm very intrigued, and as I'm learning more about how to write scripts and how to construct them, that's further my development in doing those things. So I always say I have a favorite, but I would say what comes more naturally is writing poetry.
Okay. What kind of poetry did you write?
I like to write meaningful poetry, sometimes from experiences of my own or experiences of others. I always do it from the Black lens, from the Black perspective, and I like to evoke emotion if I can, whether it be happiness or not too much. I mean, not always sadness, but just enough to make you think and really be introspective within yourself. So that's the type of writing I like to do.
It's really interesting. So when you guys go ahead and buy that ticket and go and see the play and see him in action, you're gonna see a comedic side of him. And I've noticed that there is a pattern, if you will, with people that you see in comedic roles or even just comedians, period, that they have a very deep side to them. They have, some sides to them that you wouldn't expect because all they think, oh, that's the funny man, that's the funny man. So all they think it is jokes, but no, the root of where this stuff comes from, that they're actual storytellers. And so where would you say that you pull with that storytelling, with your poetry, or even with the script writing?
Well, I have a great imagination. Luckily, even as I've been an adult in these years, I've always kept my imagination from childhood, and so I'm always able to vision and dream and think of different scenarios. And I've always been comfortable with myself, and so I've never had a problem of looking within and seeing how I feel about this, or feel about this, or think about this. And I'm very observant as well. So I would watch people and study others, and I'm an active listener. So I listen to people and their experiences and their stories and their feelings, and I take that into account. And so I try to always be authentic as I can in those real experiences with others. And so I try to pull from those different things. So whether it's internally within myself, outwardly through others, or just literally I'll think of something. How would it be in this situation? How would it might be? How would I feel if this potentially will happen? And that's kind of how I draw my inspiration when I'm writing.
Okay. And I'm wondering, I imagine that some of these viewers that are watching right now probably know you, or at least familiar with your work. I would like to hear from you guys. What kind of things would you like to see from him in the future? What do you want to see him write? What do you want to see him act in? What kind of poetry? I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about that. I'm paying attention. Um, moving forward, so we've all have experienced some crazy times during this pandemic, right? And I know that, especially performers with challenges, um, and some political issues mixed into all of it as well. So let's break it down. A two-part question. One, have you found yourself to be negatively challenged, professionally speaking, in the pandemic?
I mean, naturally, like others, I'm no different. Obviously, it was definitely a slowdown in things, and when the shutdown initially happened and things, and everything started to go virtual now, and it was no lot of not in person things, and yeah, some things were definitely slowed down work wise, but you had to persevere through it. I didn't necessarily get down on myself with it. I always knew it would come back around, so you just had to stay ready. I never let my craft get too far from me, so I always practice and make sure I was on point. So when the time did come, I'll be ready to capitalize on it. But yeah, I was no different than anybody else that went through the ups and downs of it. You might get something this day, and then it might be a little while before you get an email or get a hit. So
Right.
it was, it could have been challenging at times, but you just gotta have patience, gotta still stay the course, and don't lose faith. But yeah, eventually it'll come back around. And like I said, now things have definitely been picking back up, and we get back to the flow of things now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely. It's interesting. Some people, it's like, oh, this is pulling from my income. This is pulling from my work.
Yeah.
And then there were people like me. I actually started this show during the pandemic. But I felt like it was a good platform to introduce people to, people that maybe otherwise they wouldn't know about, or resources that they wouldn't know about. And oh, okay. There's a comment before I move forward. Love to see Royce highlight his writing, tap, and acting skills in the original screenplay. So let's talk about this. Now, I've seen you in person, I've seen you in action, but it threw me a little bit with the tap. You
Yeah.
tap?
Yeah. I actually tapped there before I even started acting. So yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
I
so
first started
how
tap dancing.
long?
I started in sixth grade. So yeah, since then. So I guess that was roughly 2001 ish. But yeah, basically since then I've been
Wow.
tap dance. Yeah.
So is this something that you throw into your performances? Are you active with this?
Oh yeah. Like I've done shows where I've had to tap dance in it and display it. Like if you talk to me and you found out that was something I did, I was, you might want to incorporate this, so let's try that. So I've definitely done some plays and some shows that I had to tap dance and was featured in that. So yeah, I always I don't tap in as often as I used to, but I got to dust off the shoes, I'm always ready, always ready to go.
That's awesome. So that makes you a triple threat, unless there's something else I'm missing. Let's see. So
No,
so, so you a tap dancer, you writing and you acting. Am I missing anything?
The occasion calls for it. I can, hold a little note or two if it calls for it. But
What?
so yeah, I just, try to be as well versed, like I said, as I can. So I know in the future though, I'm gonna be working my instrument. So I'm gonna be more try to play the piano and the guitar in the future and things like that. So just try to
Okay.
always have something in the bag.
Okay, he says skip the triple threat or quadruple threat and keep it going and keep it going. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. You always have work the more that you add to your repertoire, right? Absolutely, absolutely. So the other part to my question, and then we're gonna take a break, is during this pandemic time, aside of the fact that it was challenging with work, some of the political things that were going on, and I political because it became political, but and watching, our brothers and sisters suffering the way that they have been, and the violence and things that were going on, did you find yourself to be moved to do something about it artistically or in any activist way, did you feel moved to do anything about these movements?
Yeah, I guess even I think back on even most of my life, I've always uh I've always been aware of, I guess, being black in America. It was never something I was too distant from or desensitized in. I always knew who I was and who my parents were, my sister was, and I knew who we were in this country. And so as I've seen the things transpire over these years recently, um, you get mad. I definitely have been angry and frustrated and sad, and but I've been hopeful even in spite of that, because I've seen us collectively start to come together more as a people, start our own businesses and buy land and grow our own food and buy a property and start schools, and it's been a lot of charge in us positively,
Mhm.
that I've been inspired by, and it's been inspired me to use my voice more, in a more impactful way other than just acting. So I've been inspired um, to actually start my own show and
Yeah,
use my voice as a tool, as a platform, and not be afraid to say what needs to be said and try to hold us accountable to always be our best self as Black people and always commit to staying together and staying united. And that's the direction I felt like I was being pulled in.
okay.
So yeah, that's the journey I'm currently ready to walk towards now. So yeah.
That's simply amazing. I'm glad that you felt moved to actually participate. There were a lot of people that just kind of, either felt lost or felt hopeless or
Yeah, of course.
helpless during this time. So I'm glad that you decided to do something about it. I'm going to take this time to take our little break, and we're going to get further into the discussion. Um, Before we do this little break, for those of you that are following me via YouTube, this is what I would like you to do, please.
Got to subscribe.
Thank
Got to
you.
subscribe.
Subscribe. This is, this helps me to continue and to move forward and introduce you guys to these wonderful people and resources, information. So please do that. And those of you that are
Subscribe.
connected to me, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever, follow me, participate. Also, go to my website, asiajamal.com or .net, and subscribe to my newsletter because I have all kinds of goodies that I send out that you won't see on my social media. So, just letting you know. So, before we get into this game, we're going to take a little break and then we're going to have a little fun. Here we go. Hi, I'm Asia Jamal Rogers, and I'm a singer, songwriter, choreographer, voice actor, and I'm the creator and talk show host of Pure Live. Pure is an acronym for perfectly undefined raw elegance. So naturally, we want our content to be pure, raw, and elegant. It airs live every Friday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook. And if you'd like to see all of the episodes, you can reach it at asiajamal.com, ASIAJAMAL.com. Or if you'd like to be on the show, you can reach me at asia@asiajamal.com. Hope to see you soon. All right. Yeah, I took a little break too.
It's your show. It's your show.
It is. This is my show. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to comment, leave questions, and so have you. Moving forward. So, and getting into more of what you're doing and getting into what we were just talking about and dealing with the movements. How do you feel about the current project that you're a part of, the 1800 versus 2020? Do you feel that it connects to what we were just talking about and the struggles that we were dealing with, with our brothers and sisters and dealing with the violence and things that we were enduring? Do you think there's a connection there?
Oh, absolutely. Now when I first when Rich first brought me on and I first read the script, I was definitely moved. It's a powerful production. You can't get around that. It's a lot of messages in there, covers topics that we need to discuss, and it shouldn't be taboo, like real things that go on in this world involving our people. Um, it's it's very insightful too, and I appreciate his approach with that talking. Get a chance to really talk to your ancestors, because how often is that? We always dream of that sometimes, but to really do that, how impactful would that be? And would they be proud of? Would they be enthused about the current state of affairs today? Because you would like to think that the things that they died for and fought for and overcame, we would, honor them by being the best we could possibly be in this day and age. And so it challenges us in the current state to change our thinking. Have I done all I could do? Have the gifts I've been given, have I maximized them to the best of their abilities to really improve this world and improve my people? And it's a great production, man. It's a great message. I think Rich is a great brother, and he did a great job with this. And I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Now I have hiccups. My goodness. My body is against me today. Oh, but it's okay. But and thinking about the whole concept, oh my gosh, I have hiccups. This has been a crazy day for me. This concept of facing our ancestors and our ancestors facing us. I apologize.
No, it's all good.
I think we'll assume that we don't do that, vice versa situation in the storyline. Wow, I really have some hiccups going on. I feel like when we really have a message and we're really trying to come forward, something always oh goodness tries to shut us down.
Oh yeah, the devil got to try to slide his way in. He got to, for sure.
Right. Never has this ever happened. Oh my gosh, never has this happened on the show.
Must be a powerful show during this time.
Yeah, well, we're getting more in depth into the storyline. And no, I'm not gonna stop just because I got hiccups.
Oh no, man, we ain't gonna stop.
One of the lines that I feel is quite powerful, and there's a lot of powerful lines in this play, is when Congo talks about the fact that he's like, we're enslaved in our bodies.
Yeah, physically, yeah.
In the 1800s. But in 2020, you're enslaved in your mind. So it really makes you think. Like, we first of all, oh, first of all, we have come so far. We've had so many movements. We are voting. We had a black president. A president. This is really strange.
It's all good. Take your time.
No, legit. Like this has never happened before on any platform. That just means it's more powerful. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But in recognizing that we've had so much progress and so many things have changed, what things overlooked? What are our areas of complacency? What privileges that we've had that we just took for granted?
Yeah.
Even the point where I'm trying not to give too much of the play, but in one of the characters, he states that he doesn't vote. And this is actually very common, especially amongst African American people. Well, I don't vote. I don't see your point. We don't make a difference.
Yeah.
But the ones that fought first, the people that didn't even see that there was a way that we can even. Then there were the people that fought so hard for it to happen. And then for it to happen, it's like now we're a part of making change. Now we're a part of the discussion. And now today we have people that are saying, what's the point? And they don't even pay attention to all that history. That is the point. All that history that was changed, that is the point. Do you feel, like when you went through all this and you read through the script and you have your part in the play, did you realize the true impact of this here?
I did. Yeah, I did, because it's made to challenge you and to have you ask yourself these tough questions and really look introspectively, like, maybe I have taken this freedom thing for granted, because I'm not physically in shackles or in chains. Maybe I've taken this thing for granted. Maybe I haven't studied as much as I should have, or read as much as I should have, or maybe I became too individualistic and forgot about being community and communal and helping my fellow person up. Maybe I got too selfish along the way. Maybe I got too caught up in my own endeavors. You ask yourself these questions, because I think sometimes we do take our freedom for granted. That we can, have social media and watch everything in HD, and I can travel to this country and that country, and it's still things happening in real time, still human trafficking and people getting massive, put in jail unjustly, and it obviously still getting killed. And so it's still happening things in real time that should evoke us to never be silent, but to do something. It has to be something on some mass scale, but do something, do something towards something. Yeah, but no, I mean, it's a powerful production. It's very powerful.
Absolutely. And with your career and you being a writer and an actor, and having all these gifts and talents, when you were presented with this, did you feel challenged to take things to another step? Did you feel challenged to go another level?
Oh, absolutely. When it's something like this, you want to make sure it's being heard clearly. And so even with my role, I wanted my role to I can't be a weak link, or I can't lack in the overall concept of the story, because every part is pivotal. Every part plays in the overall construction of this message of this play. And so I wanted to come in this role that I had as Mr. Mabel and do it to the utmost best of my abilities. And I wanted to really dive into the character and really uncork who he is as a man and what his role is on Hezekiah's journey that he embarks on later on, obviously in the show, and really just do my part, to contribute to the overall message and overall structure and core of the play. Because once you get past the initial, that's when it gets real deep and real into a lot of the issues and a lot of the topics. So, I definitely felt compelled to never lack in anything and definitely give of myself as best I could.
Absolutely. You see Richard on there said you're doing a good job.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
Nice to get a pat on the back from the one that's heading the production.
Well, absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's a great brother. Great brother.
Absolutely. And I definitely look forward to seeing more of these great productions, and I look forward to seeing more of you. So let's talk about that. What do you plan on doing? What are you doing right now first? What are you embarking upon at this time?
Well, of course, currently in the great play, 1800s versus 2020. So I played Mr. Mabel in that. So as we had a great run in February. So now I'm grateful for our encore performances coming up April 9th and 10th. So make sure y'all come out, get your tickets. But yeah, so currently working on that. It's been a blast. It's been fun. The cast is great, and everybody's wonderful and talented, and it's been a great environment to be in and be a part of. So aside from that, I have a couple ongoing projects. One is the Plight of the Independent Filmmaker. That's currently on YouTube and Amazon Prime, and that's essentially about basically taking behind the scenes of a filmmaker and like his trials and tribulations and the different characters he meet on his journey of trying to create this film and create these films and things of that nature. And so it's a little comedy spoof in it as well. There's definitely a lot of comedic moments, a lot of little spoofs and things of that nature. But it's a real interesting concept, and actually we'll be transitioning from doing the episodes and to doing a movie for that as well. So that should be coming up in the near future. We start the process of working on that. And the other project is Preacher's Kids, the Untold Stories. And that is currently on Tubi TV and Amazon Prime as well. And that's basically looking into the perspective of a preacher's kid, basically, and taking them on their journey of how they grew up as a preacher's kid in the church. And we kind of approach it from a comedy level, a comedic standpoint, and give it different takes. But it's real life situations. So it's real life stories of actual preachers' kids, but we're just doing our own interpretations of their real life story, and kind of giving a little flair to it. So both of us, my current projects I'm working on currently.
Okay. Are you a preacher's kid?
No, I am not a preacher's kid. I can't take that credit.
Okay. So what made you want to talk about that?
That is, when the director Alvin asked me to be a part of it, I enjoyed the concept of that perspective. Because that was kind of something I really didn't hear that perspective. And that was an interesting concept. Because you always hear about preachers' kids, in the Black community growing up and things of that nature, but they all got a different story to tell and all got a different perspective. So I was intrigued by that, and that's kind of when he asked me to be part of it, I was more than happy to be on board.
Yeah. Well, for those of you that don't know, I'm a PK myself.
Hey, there you go.
And but it is a journey. Definitely is a journey. So I look forward to seeing this project. There are definitely comedic moments, and that storyline. And by the way, I just want to squash this rumor. We are not all the same. There's a rumor that PKs go wild once they get the opportunity. That is not the truth for us all. I remain a good girl. I stay true to my faith. Of course, I have moments, because I went through my adolescence and all of that. But I was never a wild child. That's just not how we roll.
Ain't no stories about you out there, huh?
No, not for real. Not for real. So to get to know, when all these projects and things go on, how do people find out the information? How do they follow you? What do they need to pay attention to?
Okay, well, Facebook, just simply my name, Royce Hargrove. So real simple on that. You can find me on Facebook. Instagram, it is Legacy 2607 on Instagram, but my name will come right up if you search me on there. Those are main platforms I'll be on where I promote my shows and promote my endeavors I'll be on. Down the road, we'll have a YouTube channel to promote as well. But currently, those are my main two avenues of promotion.
Okay. So y'all write that down. You see, I got it up there for you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Pay attention. I will definitely be paying attention. I look forward to seeing all of your productions. And one little thing that I want to do, because none of you have guessed the fake for the game. Y'all tripping.
I did pretty good.
So I'm going to play it one more time to give you guys an opportunity to guess which one fake. So here we go. All right. So if you were paying attention to the show, you at least know one of them is not the fake. If you were paying attention. Okay. But like I said, I don't remember which one is the fake myself. We have one guess. We have C. Do we have any more guesses? I'm gonna give you just a few more seconds, and then I have to have him tell us the truth. So we have one guess. One guess.
Get this free.
If you already have your tickets and you looking for another prize, we got other prizes as well. But you gotta guess the right answer. Okay? All right. So I gave you a few seconds and we only got one answer. So I don't know what to tell you. I can't stay on the line all day. I can't do it. It is what it is. So,
hey.
Royce, which one was the fake answer?
Well, the fake answer is the crab legs. I do not like crab legs.
Who doesn't like crab legs? What do you mean? What is there not?
I know. That's what I put it on there. I knew it would shock a few folks, but yeah, I know. I get it. It's not. I mean, I got nothing against it. Just not my cup of tea. not my cup of tea. And I think it's really because I'm a lazy eater. Like I already like to work
Okay.
too much hard to really eat my food, And so I attribute it to that a lot, I'm just a lazy eater. It's
Okay, you do have to do a little work. You gotta crack it open. You gotta try to pull all the meat out, especially if it's like the smaller ones. You gotta.
yeah.
I get that, but do you like the meat?
Oh no, like I've definitely had it, and it tastes,
Okay.
it tastes good, it tastes fine, So I'm not
Okay.
opposed to it, but yeah, if I just gotta eat it myself, do it for me, yeah, yeah.
You said I'm good. I'm not gonna work that hard for my food.
No. We'll see if it
That's
changes in
funny.
my 40s or not. We'll see if when I get a little older, it might change. We'll find
I see how it is. So we took you to a seafood place. We gotta crack the legs open for
out.
you.
If y'all don't mind,
That's some funny stuff. Okay, okay, I understand. It's actually reasonable. It's a reasonable reason to not like crab legs. I get it.
I appreciate.
It's delicious though.
Oh no, yeah,
I'm willing to
I
do
know. I already know. I already know.
it. So,
It's a delicacy.
what should we be expecting from you in the future?
Well, for me, I always been a big dreamer. Um, so I would definitely steadily increasing my acting career and being involved in whether it's film, television, commercials, voiceovers, animation, anything and everything. I do plan on eventually writing and directing some projects because I want to empower our people and employ our people to not only tell our stories but be a part of our stories. And the things I want to write is always showing us in a great positive light, us being heroes or showing our magic, showing our intelligence, showing our ingenuity. And so that's eventually down the pipeline of being a director and producing content for us regularly. Plan on being, I guess, Tyler Perry 2.0 and having my own production complex and studio. Figure you might as well have more than one, So want to do that down the
Yeah.
road. I want to open up different community centers and facilities throughout the neighborhoods of Chicago and eventually spread those out across the country. Is to give kids a place where they can heal their traumas and heal themselves mentally, to explore their
Mhm.
talents that they might never knew they had, to provide a safe space for them to not only improve academically, but dive into their creative aspects and take them to a place that maybe they didn't envision for themselves. Because sometimes growing up, you might can't see outside the four walls or the four blocks. Sometimes you gotta have somebody to unearth that vision inside you. And so a lot of my work will always consist of what can I better do to put us in a better situation, us as a people, financially, whatever the case may be. And so I have a lot of dreams, a lot of endeavors, a lot of passions that I want to do and pursue. I'm trying to create a lot of generational wealth for us as a whole. So I'm all about collaboration, working together. If you need me for anything, I'm always there. I'm always there for you, and hopefully there for me, and we can really work collaboratively to have our kids set up to a better place that we can curtail a lot of this stuff that's happening, and eventually we are self-sufficient and self-sustaining, and we have our own banks and schools and grocery stores
Yeah.
and hospitals, and we're doing our own thing. So I guess that's yeah, I know it's a lot, but that's kind of where I see myself in the future doing all those things. So
All right. Well, you can count me in. Let me know how I can help or contribute.
do it.
Definitely count me in. Absolutely. That sounds wonderful. And I know people will say, oh, that sounds good. That sounds lovely. That sounds wonderful. It's doable.
Yeah,
And
of course.
if you
Absolutely.
look back in our history, we got there. we actually were self-sufficient, and our stuff got burned down.
Yep. Yep.
We can rebuild. We can
Absolutely.
definitely rebuild.
Absolutely.
Yes. And it is at the end of the show, and I want to give you an opportunity to share your words of wisdom with our viewers. What do you have to
No
say?
problem. No problem. I just want to encourage everybody to never give up on your passions and your dreams and your vision. It's okay if you go through things in life, if you struggle, and take the time to go through that. Take the time to heal from that, and it's okay to have moments of vulnerability, because we're not all perfect. We're not all strong every single day, but we can become strong. We can find courage. We can find the vision and the passion. So I just want to encourage us each and every day to do those things, stay on the course, never lose your faith, and know that as a whole, we're always more powerful than we are separately.
Absolutely. I agree. My name is Asia Jamal Rogers, and I approve of that message. Royce for president. No, but thank you so much. I definitely appreciate you.
Thank
I
you. I appreciate
enjoyed having you on the show, and I look
appreciate
forward to seeing what you have going on in the future. I will be watching.
I appreciate that. Thank you for having me again. I enjoyed it. I appreciate the work that you're doing, and I'm gonna be around. We'll definitely be collabing in the future for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you guys, we will be here again next week, Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Remember to embrace God's perfect design, which is you. Until next time, have a good evening. Bye. See y'all later.
We